Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in this amazing community, and I am facilitating for Josh, who's one of the community's facilitators for this evening. And I'd like to begin our practice today with a sentiment of metta. Metta is loving kindness. And loving kindness, I want you to take that in for a minute. I want to encourage you. So, even before we share this sentiment, I invite you to close your eyes, turn down the distraction of the day, and just allow a brief contemplation on the words loving kindness. In Buddhism, loving kindness, metta or maitri in Sanskrit, is one of four limitless qualities that, as practitioners, we devote ourselves to cultivating. This means that there are an infinite number of conditions that can arise to encourage and challenge our capacity to be loving and kind. Take a moment to breathe that in. And take a moment to entertain that while you may be a loving, kind person to others, a really fascinating inquiry is, am I loving and kind to myself? And with that inquiry, let me share with you this sentiment of metta. May you celebrate many small, magnificent moments. May you celebrate many small, magnificent moments. I think coming to a Recovery Dharma meeting is one of those small, wonderful, magnificent moments. So bravo us. We're already nailing this loving kindness business. We got it. We're doing great. We're on the right track. Arrive fully to your practice, friends. Arrive to your body companion. Allow the body a moment's awareness. Breathe. Settle in. If your body is asking for rest and you'd like to enjoy this practice lying down, please do so. If your body is feeling a little fidgety, not quite able to find stillness, and if you're online, go ahead and turn your camera off and shake it out, wander around, have this meditation be in the background. Let that be your practice this evening. Meet yourself where you are and give yourself permission to need what you do and nurture those needs. That is an act of loving kindness toward yourself. For the month of September, friends, we are exploring something quite unique by way of a theme. In the Spokane Sangha, we take Buddhist practices and principles and we study them for an entire month. This month, I have decided to pair Western psychology with Buddhist practice. And so I decided to bring forward 4 common qualities associated with negative habit energy, otherwise known as addiction. And to help us lean into these qualities, I've brought forward 4 different mindfulness practices. We've already explored taking responsibility. Struggling to be accountable is actually the habit energy. Last week, we took a deep dive into the conditions that can determine one's comfort with keeping secrets and lying. This week, we're going to explore something called instant gratification. And the mindfulness practice that I'd like to share with you is something called pause. P.A.U.S.E. And it's actually an acronym. And the letters stand for P for presence, A for awareness, U, unpack, S, see anew, E, empower. I'd like to preface this reflection by calling to the mind, particularly our minds, this Western mind that we have been conditioned to have, and its propensity for dualistic thinking, which is either or thinking, black and white thinking, good, bad, right, wrong. We're constantly trying to set things up on one side or the other of this whole spectrum. And we suffer for it deeply because the middle way, as the Buddha prescribed, is the gray zone. It's the fluidity that happens when we go between polar opposites. So, for instance, let's put into this spectrum on one end, there is instant gratification. Its opposite is delayed gratification. And somewhere in between is where we fall, depending on the conditions. Not every kind of instant gratification is bad, friends. If you're dehydrated and you get that instant relief from having a drink of water, that relief is positive. It's very, very good. Likewise, if you're hypothermic and you get that instant gratification from being warmed, if you're lonely and somebody calls you out of the blue, or you reach out to somebody and you get that instant relief, that instant satisfaction, these are very positive experiences. So again, it's not about making instant gratification bad. It's about recognizing what are the conditions where instant gratification is positive, negative, neutral. In the realm of substance use disorder, in the realm of negative habit energy, instant gratification becomes a hallmark behavior. The mind basically goes unconscious and it reaches for the very thing the body knows it ought not have. Maybe the body has lost its signaling to say, no, I've reached a satiation point. I'm done. Or maybe the mind is so riddled with craving, psychologically, physiologically, that it causes great pain. And it really confuses the mind. It puts the mind in a panic and just want it to stop. Delaying that gratification seems Herculean. We fall on that spectrum, friends. And so the practice is to insert a pause, to at least invite some wonderment, some curiosity about what is motivating my seeking of gratification. What conditions are arising for me? And what's fascinating is just asking the question inserts a pause. It disrupts the habitual unconscious momentum that we get into that is habit energy. So this is what being present is. It's that, and it's so tightly partnered with awareness. Because there's something here that says, you know what? I feel this arising. I feel this craving. I have this thought. I have this desire. I want to gratify myself immediately. Wait. That's being present to the mind. That's being present to the body. That's being present to what's going on. That's amazing. Most of the time, we're just going from one reaction to the next, not even thinking about it, not even having any awareness. We're completely unconscious. And so to have just a little bit of awareness, would you look at that? I think that this sweet treat is going to bring me joy, bring me relief. It might, and it might not. So, what is here? What's going on? What's this really all about? And that's where unpacking comes in. What's this really all about? What's going on for me? Have I been on social media too long and I'm irritable? Did I not sleep well? Am I hungry? Am I bored? Am I lonely? Am I entertaining the saboteur in my mind? When was the last time I took a moment to breathe with intentionality? So, unpacking is a practice of intentionally noticing the details of one's life with curiosity and inquiry. And it's also inserting your skills, your tools, loving kindness. I need to breathe. Maybe I need to hydrate, and water is what my body's actually asking for. And by doing something different, by bringing this sort of unconscious habit energy into one's awareness, into your consciousness, you're already doing something different. So new things will begin to appear. You'll be able to see them. And it's really important to take stock. It's really important to pat yourself on the back and say, wow, I'm really working this. I took a breath where yesterday I wasn't practicing this at all. And I just went unconscious. and made a comment on social media or ate something I shouldn't have or smoked that cigarette that I didn't really want or whatever habit energy it is for you. Take stock of your steps forward, sideways, upside down ways, backwards. All of them together are the fodder, are the rich soil for your awareness. And then empower. To empower is to encourage. And one of the powerful things as practitioners that we can all do is we can stop looking outside of ourselves for validation and just remember that we have agency. We can tell ourselves that was awesome. In this moment, I nailed it. Good job. And the reason why I'm encouraging this is, have you ever noticed when you go to somebody and you seek praise or you seek validation and you're disappointed, like they're not doing it in the way that you want? And it's really because it could be that your wisdom is seeking your attention and your validation, your praise, your encouragement. That's the ticket. That's the name of the game. That's really what's going to matter. And it's not in a boastful way or an arrogant way. I'm so amazing. I'm the best person that ever was. It's not that. But it's not also the habit energy of I'm the worst person. I've made so many mistakes. I'm worthless. I'm undeserving. That's also an exaggeration. It's simply about recognizing, wow, I did something different. And that something was good. And I'm going to keep working on that. I'm going to keep doing it because it feels good. I'm going to see the familiar patterns. And rather than react to them in a familiar way and in an unconscious way, I'm going to do something new. So the pause practice is an overlapping practice. And even if you pause for 10 seconds, that's 10 seconds of practice that millions and millions of people have no clue about. It's enough. It's magnificent. And then maybe next time when you're aware, you'll pause for 30 seconds. Amazing. So let's take a moment of silence and practice. Come into your own presence, your own wisdom, your bodhicitta, that wise, soft heart. Make space for it. Allow it to be present. Allow it to guide you. Let it wake you up with this brilliant awareness of what's happening in this moment. Can you unpack its details? Can you start asking questions of yourself? Is something new trying to come forward, trying to get your attention? Is there some little shy whisper that's like, psst, hey, over here? Can you allow all of that to be a spirit of encouragement, empowerment? Enjoy this practice. Alrighty, friends. Take a deep breath and we'll conclude our practice. Hmm. Back home to ourselves. Come home to yourself. And let's create a dedication of merit. I think it was in the book Start Where You Are by Pema Chodron, where she reminds us that one of our habit energies is this seeking outside of ourselves. Out there somewhere is the perfect life with the perfect conditions for the perfect, and the perfect, everything perfect out there, way over there. Someday I will get there. And what happens with that mind is the present moment goes unaware. And the present moment is all we have. It's where we can honor the past and put it down. And it's where we can honor what's awaiting us and leave it alone and come home to this moment right now, this precious, precious, fragile moment. Breathing in this deep, reverential presence. Breathing out peace. We do this for ourselves, and quite sometimes unknowingly, by extension, we radiate this out into the world. And boy, does the world need your radiance, my radiance. May you take in the goodness, the merit of this practice, and may you freely share it. And may you keep practicing with a joyful mind and a light heart until we see each other again, friends, maybe even on Sunday. I'll see you then. Namaste.